Thank you, Diana. I echo Joy's comments as I sat here. I'm like, uh-oh. I'm like, I have to get up and follow all of these people. This is not good. We pave roads. We blow things up, as Diana said. I really just can't compete with a lot of that. With that being said, I also want to I want to reflect back. Diana was talking about what she loves about her job, and the two people. And so when I showed up here today, and Marion greeted me at the door, and she said to me, she goes, okay, she goes, I have a question for you. She said, I've heard you called Bobby. Diana calls you Bob sometimes. You're registered as Robert. Which is it? I have name tags for all three of them. And so I always hear, Diana and I, know each other outside of the chamber as well, and I always hear her talk about, Marion and Lisa. So, it's 100% right in that. So I had to tell that funny story about, when I showed up here today, though. That being said, I was thinking through of how to try and make this a little unique, and everyone's talked about some phenomenal things, and we hear the resounding themes, the people, the intrinsic rewards, and all of those type things, and I certainly echo all of those. So last night I was thinking through different, how can I do this differently? And I got this crazy idea because it seems like that's what we do. And I texted a coworker and I said, well, what if I decided I'm just going to remix Toby Keith's I Love This Bar and turn it into I Love My Job? And the immediate response that came back, and Jim's shaking his head, Jim, by the way, she wanted you to record it and put it on TikTok. Jim was our local TikTok expert. And the problem was, as she started sending the screenshots of the lyrics, and I started looking through them, I went, I don't need to change too many of these words, so I'm just going to back away from that one. Sorry, Jim, he was ready to go. That being said, when I started at Allstates 9 years ago, it was the number one thing when I got there was the number of people who had worked there for 20, 30, 40 years. And to me, that was a message right up front. It's yes, it checks all the boxes. It's obviously they're doing something right, and there's all of these great things that are keeping these people there, and it comes back to beyond all of those. It's the experiential. It's what are those unique things? What makes you tick? What makes you wake up in the morning when you have those days that are not good? Because we all have them. And what do you remember and what do you recall? So I started thinking through some of those and some of the things, and so as a kid. And as a boy growing up, we loved playing out in the dirt with Tonka toys. Well, I get to be around giant Tonka toys every single day, right? And in the biggest sand pit and dirt pit you're ever going to find. So that's kind of cool. And then, how many people have had their parents at some point in time say, hey, why don't you go play out in traffic? Well, we go out and play in traffic. And also, for anyone who's a fan of the game Frogger, it's not fun when you're the frog. Simple as that. Other things, who would have thought I would have been able to take a remote-controlled toy and fly it down Interstate 91 at 40 miles an hour? I get to do that with a drone, and that's pretty cool. So it's these experientials. It's the places. It's the things that you don't think of. Being down in Newport, Rhode Island, and flying that drone on a road that's 8 miles and goes by Newport Country Club and goes over Jay Leno's mansion. It truly is a mansion. Being up in the northernmost point of US 1, Route 1, at Fort Kent, Maine, it's a long ways there. 800 miles in one day is a long drive. But it's pretty cool when you're standing there on the other side of the bridge as Canada and you're working at the very beginning of it. It's all of those type things. And getting back to the people. So it's when you're in the office and the afternoon's starting to drag on and you go to that not-so-secret candy drawer to get that afternoon sugar rush. Or when your coworker walks by and gets you onto a TikTok binge. Thanks, Jim. Or when it's Halloween and you're at home because you've had surgery and you're kind of in that, not really feeling it, and you get a picture in the morning of 4 of your coworkers dressed up as giant traffic cones. So you find a ride to the office because you're the marketing person and you can't miss this photo op. So they put the costumes back on, pile into the cone truck, and take pictures with the real cones. Those type things that really make you want to come back, that make the day go by, that keep the days light. We all have great days. We all have days that are not so great. But it's about that intrinsic reward. It's about the people that we share those experiences with. So I'll leave on, it's Friday morning. It's 8:56. For anyone that listens to the Bobby Bones Show, we've got 4 minutes till the Friday morning dance party, which every Friday morning in the office we have to turn on. And I'm very thankful for my colleague who sits next to me that shares that same joy and same experience of we have to listen to that every morning on Friday. So with that, thank you everyone again. Thank you to the Chamber. Thank you, Diana. And have a great rest of the day and a great weekend.